What's up, everybody? It's Jamie, and I'm here with Sharon at sea, but instead of being at sea, she's at the pond, because there's a little lake right back here behind us. So it's a different kind of sea, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we're at the lake by our house.
Yep.
At the park.
And we are out here today because we're about to roll out our first subscriber-inspired vlog. Sharon made a comment about anybody has questions, comments, things that they want to know about. And Amanda Graves was nice enough to send us a comment, or a question, we should say. And so Sharon asked me to come out here today and be a special guest star on today's video and talk a little bit about what Amanda wants to find out about. Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Is that what you're calling yourself, a special guest star?
I'm a special guest star today. Special guest star. I'm usually not allowed out of the house. But today it's a special event.
Goodness.
So let's get right down to the nuts and bolts of why we're here.
Okay, so let's read us the question.
Amanda Graves has said, and first, Amanda, thank you very much for taking the time to send us this question. Sharon, although she only addresses Sharon, I'm not sure why she doesn't say Sharon and Jamie, but it's okay. Yeah, my feelings aren't hurt. We'll be fine. Sharon, I'd love to see a video on how you guys go about saving money for your cruises. Do you put the same amount in a savings account every month, or deposit a certain amount every week? Do you have a separate account for cruises? Do you buy cruise cash a month before the cruise? Amanda says her boyfriend and she are thinking about getting a joint cruise savings account and then each depositing a certain amount every week or month, but they'll make sure they always deposit at least $150 a month, maybe more, and if they can do that, that's great. But Amanda says just wanted your take on it and thought it might make a good tips video.
Well,
so outstanding question.
That is a good tips video.
All right. So what's the first thing I think that Sharon will tell you?
Well, a savings account is great, and if not a savings account, just some way to kind of tuck money back each month towards saving for it is really great. That's really important. It really will help you not be stressed as it gets closer. But this is kind of what we do. So let's talk a little bit about what we do, and then we'll go and give you some tips of what we've heard a lot of people do that are very helpful. Well, first off, we always book early. We book at least 18 to 24 months in advance.
Book in advance.
Because that gets you the lowest rate, and also book in at a rate that gives you some price drops. Like I know with Carnival, it's Early Saver. All the cruise lines have some kind of a rate like that.
Yeah.
That will get you price drops on, up until the sale day, if the price should go lower.
Now I will say one thing: if this is your first cruise, 18 to 24 months seems like a lifetime away. So if you need to go earlier than that, I think Early Saver deals usually start about what, 6-8 months out.
No, Early Saver start as far out as they're booking, but they only go until once you're 5 months into your cruise, your cruise is 5 months out, you can no longer book Early Saver.
But Early Saver is a way where you can book and then take advantage of price change and stuff like that. But getting away from that concept, Amanda's talking about how do you save money for it.
Right. Okay. Well, we usually put a little bit back, like you said, each month. Usually not right away, not 18 to 24 months, but maybe about 6 months ahead or so. We'll kind of start. We usually buy gift cards, sometimes the Carnival gift cards at the grocery store, and then you get gas points for them.
Oh yeah.
So then you actually can sort of save some money each month on your gas, which ultimately saves you money.
Now that Verizon's not doing that 10% off deal, we're looking for other ways to save money.
We used to do that a lot.
Off.
Yeah. So that's one way. And we kind of just put them up. We don't. Sometimes we'll go ahead and put them on the cruise. Sometimes we'll hang on to them till a little closer and then put them on the cruise. But we're secured with that gift card, so we know we have that money set aside, basically.
Sure. And if you do something like that, and you're working with somebody like Sharon, who's taking care of your booking and things, you can just call once a month and say, I want to drop this amount of money onto the cruise and pay it off a little bit here and there, and then 45 days, 60 days out, the cruise is paid in full, and then you're really just talking about having fun money to spend while you're on the ship.
Yeah. And another thing we also do is Jamie kind of calls it as he's starving. Usually as about 2 months out before the cruise, we kind of take all of our, some people would call it your disposable income, I guess it is, but money that you would use maybe to go out to eat or do extra things, entertainment things that you normally do that cost you money each month. We usually take most of that money, and that kind of goes right into our cruise, because
Yeah.
most of the time we will have our cruise about half paid off, maybe 2 months before, and then we still owe that other half sometimes because we haven't saved like you probably should along back, each month. And so we do kind of strap ourselves down and put a little more into it each month, and
Yes.
just kind of, we don't really starve, but JV calls it the starvation.
Well, it's
plan, I think.
starvation month. Listen, there's some months where we have the extra money to burn and it's all real easy, but hey, other times we book a cruise so far out that you don't know other expenses can come up that
Right.
you didn't expect, whether it's a work on your car or something else you got to
Yeah.
spend money on. So about 2 months out, we just kind of shut it down and we just
Yeah.
don't spend any extra money than we have to.
And it goes into the cruise.
And everything we're doing is just looking forward to just that week on the ship. And instead of spending $50 out at dinner, we realize that we can spend that $50 elsewhere and have fun on an excursion or something like that. And that's way better than going down to the burger joint or whatever it is to get yourself something to eat. So
And another thing we do is usually we have a credit card with travel points. And so we will book our airfare and our pre and post hotel stays on that credit card. And then that gives you points, which you can usually purchase things with, like gift cards and things at some point as you get enough points.
Sure.
So we do that, and then we can purchase gift cards with the points, which we can then use on the cruise or towards whatever. Like, for example, this last Christmas, we were able, with our points off our travel card, to get $450 worth of gift cards. So we bought a few other gift cards. We also got some Carnival gift cards.
Mhm.
And so that was a great way. If we wanted to, we could have gotten all Carnival gift cards and taken $450 off one of our cruises. So that would have been great. But
Yep. So you always got to look for little ways that you can save a little money. So
Right.
gas points or credit card points or whatever the case is.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to buy those gift cards at the Fry's grocery store or
Well, or
whatever you have near you.
Kroger on some places.
And everyone has a different place near them, but you get the drift. So you
So
buy
those
it
are-
and then you save money that way.
Yeah, so those are some ways, little ways just to save, and basically, just like anyone else, we just slowly pay it off. We don't have any magic way of doing it, just like everyone.
Yeah.
So that is a great idea, Amanda, starting a savings account somewhere, putting a little in each month, and that's great for anyone, just to always have that and call it your travel or cruise fund, and just so you always have your vacation money available whenever you want to take a vacation. So
Yeah,
it's
sure,
a
but
great
that's
idea.
always the great thing about the cruise is most everything you need to spend is paid already by the time you get on the ship. So that is pretty awesome. All right, so Amanda, hey, like we said, your ideas are all great, and if whatever works for you in saving money to pay for that cruise is great. We talked a little bit about what we like to do: pay ahead, pay as you go, using other means to save money and get money back with your gift cards and stuff like that. But it's really twofold, because once you pay for the cruise, then you need to establish how much do I need once I'm on the ship. And that's where we do something pretty neat. We really just break down day by day what we anticipate spending. We'll take a look if it's the night before at the hotel, breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever. And then if we have a sea day or we have a port day, and we anticipate how much we're going to spend on an excursion per person, things like that. And then Sharon has a neat way that she will actually separate out that money.
Yeah, I actually take an envelope for our pre-cruise or post-cruise, and then each day of the cruise. And if our excursions are already paid for, then they're not in there. But other than that, we will put in what we plan to spend each day in port besides our excursion, or if our excursion is not paid for yet, it'll be in there as well. And then on our sea days, of course, everything goes on the ship card, or the sail and sign or ship card. So we'll have another envelope that is just kind of basically our sail and sign card, because we do usually put cash on our account most of the time. Once in a while, we'll attach a credit card to it, but we try to pay cash if we can, instead of coming home in debt. We like to come home free and clear and
Yeah.
on to the next cruise. So, but that's how we do it. We separate in envelopes. We take all of our envelopes. And then if for some reason, and we have, of course, an envelope for gambling as well, for a casino
Well, that's very
envelope.
important. That's very important. But
And then
listen,
one day, if we don't spend everything one day, sometimes then we just move it to the next envelope the next day, we have more, and on and on. And then sometimes we actually at the end come home with money. So-
But, and don't be afraid to go into detail on it. I mean, if we're flying into a town the day before, then we're looking at what are we gonna spend on the taxi?
Mm-hmm.
What's we gonna spend at the room? What are we gonna spend on breakfast the next morning? What's the taxi to the ship the next day? Then what do we have to spend the rest of the day? And then if we get off in a port, Sharon mentioned, did we already prepay the excursion, which is a great way to have, you know, stuff already paid for, or do we have to pay $200 for the excursion, and then do we need taxi money, and then are we going to
Yeah.
tip somebody, and are we going to go eat somewhere if we're going to a beach club? Is it, you know, what are we paying per person? Is it all inclusive? A lot of details, so you
Yeah.
can really break it down into a day by day thing. And so when we go, we have an envelope with money for that day, and it's really pretty accurate as far as what we expect to spend.
Right.
Not sure. I mean, maybe there's
Well,
a great pair of
and I know-
Oakley sunglasses that you want to pick up for an extra $10, and you break the bank there. But otherwise,
Yeah.
you already have what you need for your
Right.
day by
And
day activity.
One thing too is we have been to a lot of the ports, and so we kind of have a pretty good idea of what we're going to be spending and what's there. You know, I know if you're a brand new cruiser, you know, you really have no clue of what, you know, what to expect. So that's, so when we were new cruisers, we just researched. We did so much research. I mean, research. I can't say enough about that. So if you're a new
Research?
cruiser, just do your research and, you know, try to find out how much things cost, how much, you know, you need to plan for things so that you don't get in a situation where you don't have the money and then, you know, in the end you feel like you didn't enjoy your cruise because something went wrong. You know, that happens sometimes. And,
Yes.
you know, just basically don't stress. Try to save a little each month to put towards your cruise. Once it's paid off, save a little, you know, each month or week to take on the cruise and just enjoy. Go with a kind of an open mind that things sometimes can go wrong, sometimes they're great, but you know, you just never know, and you just have to go with the flow and enjoy.
I don't know what you're talking about. My cruise is always great.
Yeah, we usually have, I think we only had one time where we had a few hiccups.
But you're totally getting off track
but
now,
yeah,
so
I
let's
know.
bring this conversation
So
back into...
anyways, just enjoy, don't stress, and try to budget each month for your cruise. And that's the best advice I guess we can give you.
Yes, so there you go. So Amanda, outstanding question. We really appreciate it. Thanks for coming out here with us today to the park here in our town.
Sorry if it was a little bit noisy because it's there are people out
Nah,
here.
it's not noisy. You wouldn't even know that we have our dog Lucy sitting right behind us.
Yeah.
She's been super good. So thanks,
Yeah.
Lucy. Appreciate it.
She's tired now. We had her running around.
Yeah.
Okay, so until next week with our next subscriber inspired vlog. Happy cruising.
Happy cruising.